Greetings gamers, we are in the arcade today and I've got a special treat. We're going to do a cabinet tour of an Atari Star Wars Cockpit, and I've got a special guest here, Darth Vader, on the tour, and one of his Stormtroopers is currently playing the game. But this cockpit, there were 2,450 of them made, and one of the things that is sought after when collecting this game is the original 25-inch Amplifone monitor. This is a color vector monitor, and I have one of those in here. You can see the back, kind of holding the light up so you can get a better shot. But here, the back of the cabinet has got some plexiglass on it. It's got a great marquee that lights up. Some of the words that you hear in arcade collecting are dedicated. This game has all the original components in it, and again, you can see the 25-inch Amplifone monitor. One of the things that was unique about this monitor is that it didn't have a frame. You can see it goes from side to side. The cabinet takes up the absolute whole width of the cabinet here. And but one of the things was unique is there's not a frame for the monitor. The board's actually mounted to the side of the game. There's a deflection board right there, and the high voltage is below it. The PCB is right here. But when you hear the word dedicated, to me, that means matching serial numbers. Now, this game does not have matching serial numbers. Atari did a great job of putting serial numbers on just about everything in the game. Now, this is the back piece, and originally you would have seen a sticker on the back that looks like this one on the pole position, but somebody has sanded that sticker off and repainted the back, so that's not there. So what we would do next is we would go to the PCB board, but the PCB board in here is actually from an upright Star Wars, and then these two boards over here I bought separately, and they have different serial numbers. But the last clue that we have is the audio regulator board down there has a serial number on it, and that serial number is SD1101. So I would say it's safe to say that this was the 1101 first game that was made. Now, another thing is they made a European version as well as a US version. Now this game, one of the clues that we see is that it does not have one of the on the cage for the PCB, it doesn't have one of the shields on the end. In the United States, they actually required one of those shields. This game did not have one originally. Now it could have had one at some time, but the second clue we have is if we look over here on the side of the game, is we have Darth Vader, and Darth Vader has a yellow glow to him instead of a red glow, and I believe the games in the United States had a red glow to Vader, and the games from Europe had a yellow glow. But if anybody knows different, please type a comment in there and let me know. One of the things I've done is I've taken some of the metal brackets and edge pieces, and I have blasted them and powder coated, and you can see here it's just turned out great. This game has stereo sound. You've got one of the speakers, you can see right here, there's actually two speakers, one on the other side and two speakers in the back, and that provides stereo sound during gameplay. I installed a new yoke from RAM Controls. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got a new overlay on it as well, and it plays like it should play in the game from originally from 1983. This has an original control panel overlay on it. It was in such great shape I decided to leave it. It's also got the original side art on it that's in pretty good shape. You can actually find new side art to put on the game as well. This is in such great shape. I kind of don't mind seeing some of the scars from being in the arcade for those years. Down here you would have had a rubber mat. You can see some of the rubber mat back there, but what somebody's done is put a piece of plywood over that rubber mat. At some point I'm going to remove that and expose that mat. But this is the back of the game. Again, it's got this great plexi canopy on it, and on the inside it's got some really great molded plastic that kind of forms the cockpit. You can see up here we've got some color control stickers that just make it look a little bit more real, like you're in a fighter. And again, the top of the cabinet is plexi, and it just provides a really nice feel when you're on the inside of the game. But the triggers, each of the triggers, there's 4 triggers you can see that he's pressing, and each of those triggers, they're not really independent. Anytime you press one of them, it's going to fire from one of the 4 different areas there in the game. But we'll watch a little bit of the gameplay. The game, you've actually got a shield, and what it does is it has different voice simulations from Obi-Wan to Darth Vader and Luke throughout gameplay. And again, this is a color vector monitor, so it produces a little bit of a different image than you would see on a raster monitor. But Darth is doing pretty good. Maybe we'll get to see him blow up the Death Star here. There you can hear Obi-Wan. It's just a lot of fun to play. Again, the monitor is absolutely huge in this game. Right here we see the Death Star blowing up. Really cool graphics, and still a lot of fun to play even for these little guys. But that is it. I appreciate you guys watching. Again, if you've got any questions or comments, if you type them in there and I can answer those. And I would also appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. I am going to take videos of a lot of the different games in the arcade down here. Currently, I've kind of got it torn apart. I'm restoring or adding some parts to some of these different games. This is a Frogger right here that I just picked up that's not working. That I'm going to get working at some point. But again, I appreciate you watching, and happy gaming, and take care. You want to say something, Stormtrooper? All right, goodbye.